Now, Electrochem Ghana Limited, the company contracted to mine salt in the Songo Lagoon, has dissociated itself from Thursday's violent attack on Radio Adan, which led to the destruction of the radio station and the brutal assault on some staff of the station, including at least one journalist there. The victims have been nursing their injuries while the radio station works vigorously to remobilize to go live on air. Now, prior to Thursday's incident, the attackers had threatened to unleash a series of attacks on the radio station if it continued carrying reports and producing any form of programming about the Songo Lagoon project. Now, joining me on phone is my colleague Kwame Yanka. Now, Kwame, what would you say is the level of distraction when you visited early this afternoon?
Well, Israel, for a typical radio station with its studios where it sends out its programs from, you have the whole console being dismantled, computers, any other thing that makes it possible for the program for the radio station to transmit its programs, were destroyed. Doors to the studio, any other thing that these attackers or assailants laid their hands on had to go down. And this was this is how they got to the studio and then destroyed any other thing they laid their hands on. But as I speak to you, they are off air, at least in the last 24 hours. The company has been off air, or Radio Adan has been off air. But then management is trying to pool resources, also with the assistance of the Member of Parliament for the area, Doye, to just mobilize some resources and then put the studio back in shape. But it's unclear when this could be done for the station to be back on air. So until this is done, listeners of Radio Adan would have to remain in the dark, I should say.
All right, when you say that they're putting resources together to get back on air, are you talking about money, and what is the money going to be used for? Considering the fact that the equipment has been damaged, can they replace the equipment, and how quickly can they do that?
Okay, so money-wise, it's difficult to lay hands on the exact amount here. But then, when it comes to equipment, making up any radio station, yes, we may have some backup here and there, but then to bring it all together, to scratch, then it will take more than probably a day or two to do this, and then as to whether they may even get the exact standard they would want this to be able to transmit their programs. But like I said, management is not living it to its current state. It is doing its best with whichever help it is going to get from beyond the station to make sure that their programs are back on air as and when they are able to do this.
All right, the victims of this attack must be quite traumatized. Tell us about their psychological and emotional state when you visited.
Surely, Israel. In fact, the presenter who was on air at the time of the incident, I must say that at this point, he feels very helpless. Anytime he gets to today, when we met him at the radio station, he led us to the very studio where he sat at the time of the attack. And in fact, Kole Ajauto, that's the name, Kole Ajauto, he said anytime he gets close to the studio, he feels like a burden has been placed on his shoulders, and until he's able to do this or get psychological help to get this out of his head, coming back to the station to work as a presenter, it will be difficult because as of yesterday, he was contemplating on resigning over his safety. It was unclear where the next attack could come from or when the next attack could be. Because this is the very first of its kind in over 2 decades of operation. So for the company, Ajauto Kole, according to him, must do everything possible to psych them up to ensure that they are back to themselves, to be able to just sit behind the console, behind the microphones, and then churn out all these interesting programs that the Dangbe communities have been accustomed to in the last 2 decades.
Oh!
Well, for now, I'm not feeling fine. It seems I carry a heavy load on my head due to the beatings they gave me yesterday. I don't know, but I'm not feeling fine. Both physically and then everything, I'm not feeling fine. What they did to me yesterday, I decided to quit this job. Yes, I decided to quit this job. But we'll see the steps to take next.
Oh, okay. So let's take it back. At which point of the program did these men under the environment at what time did they break in?
Around 11:30 a.m.
Okay.
I was hosting a program, a segment, and so the people calling in and then share their views concerning the program going on. Suddenly, I saw some 7-8 young birdsmen coming in. So you see, this is a community radio which is open to community people. Anybody can come here at any given time with his or her businesses.
Now, managers of the station have called on the police to step in and take charge. Kwame, tell us more about what the managers have been saying. Now, Kwame, if you can hear me, tell us more about what the managers have been saying to the police, especially as far as investigations are concerned. Right, we seem to have lost Kwame there, but let's bring you that soundbite.
A group of violent men came between the 7 to 10. When they entered into the radio station, they asked who is Noah. The team that was program on the Songo Lagoon. So they held two of the workers. They made them to kneel down on the floor, including two clients who came to the station to record their message. After that, they went straight to the on-air studio. They used their leg to break into the studio, damage the door, and then they started all the broadcasting machines over there. The live presenter on air by then, Mr. Gabriel Koleajauto, has been pulled out of the console and beaten mercilessly. We have been producing programs on the Songo Lagoon that has been leased to Electrochem. We have been serializing the documents of the lease agreement, the MOE, etc. Yeah, so we think that was why they are looking for us. Before they left, they said we should stop broadcasting materials on the Songo Lagoon. That was the warning that they gave us. They are Tiktol and Jan. One of them spoke Dangbe, but the rest spoke English. The one is holding a pistol and a handcuff. That person is in the fake military attire. There are no tags, name tags on it, and so we sent the victim, our staff, to the police, and then they gave us a police medical form. He has been sent to the hospital, treated and discharged. Now organizing to present a formal police report. Media Commission is also there. We will also report to them.
Now, responding to the issue, the Corporate Communications and Public Relations Manager of Electrochem Ghana Limited, Henking Ajase Kojo, said the company has no hand in the incident.
It's news to me, same as it is to you. I read it on social media a few minutes ago. Electrochem has no interest in this development, actually. It's rather unfortunate. The attack on the radio station is unfortunate. It's bad news to us, but we have no direct or indirect link to the development.
Now, a member of Parliament for the Adan constituency, Comfort Doye Gansa, has condemned the incident, demanding the police arrest and prosecute persons behind it. She has also been making some promises to the local radio station.
All my worries are we should stop attacking journalists. We should stop attacking Radio Adan. Yesterday should be the end, and we are seeking for protection for the radio station. The management already have security men on the ground that I think is not enough. So because of that, I'm here today, and after speaking to the media, I'll meet the management, and I'm going to support them with cash to install both CCTV cameras and BIFA security and repair the equipment that have been vandalized.